Good morning, traders. I'm going to talk to you today about psychology and the top 5 books that you need to read if you're being challenged with your psychology when it comes to trading. If you're new to trading and you don't know what your psychology is, well, just keep trading. You'll figure it out pretty quick. I've been trading basically, just make it really short and sweet. I started trading back in 1995, roughly, I think, with I learned from a guy named Ken Williams who wrote the greatest money management book ever. And I started trading and I lost money and came back a few years later, started trading, lost money, tried that about 3 or 4 times until about 2 years ago when I went full time into trading. And it's been a very interesting experience. I have I've learned several things. Is number one, it's going to take a while to get to where you want to be. It's not going to be a get rich quick overnight, but do not stop. Just keep applying yourself, and you'll get there. Number two, continually uh, improve your psychology, and so these are the top 5 books that I've read, and I'll explain why each one of them. And there, I'm going to give them to you in the order in which I have read them. So, number one, Trade Your Way to Financial Freedom by Van Tharp. Great book. I don't. I like how he talks about being able to track your trades, keeping track, being analytical when it comes to your trades. This is a good book if you're new to trading to start out with because it gives you a lot of insight. I'm not really a big fan of some of the trading strategies that he talks about in here. I don't trade any of these strategies, and I wouldn't recommend any of these strategies. But I do think this is a great book to start with, especially probably the first half of the book. And I refer to this often. So it is a good book, and he writes another one too, and I don't remember what it's called, but look it up. Van Tharp. He's got another book that's actually pretty good, and I haven't read it, so I can't tell you good or bad. But the second book that I read, and I read this one actually before I started trading, and it's the Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. This is a great book. It talks about why we do things, how our habits formed. This is a good overall book when it comes to just living your life and developing habits, getting rid of bad habits. By the way, trading, I always say that trading is a magnifier. It will magnify your good habits and magnify your bad habits. So this is a great book. I highly encourage that everybody read this book. I include it on my trading because I have referred back to this book multiple times when it comes to my trading. Great book. Next one, Mind Hacking by Sir John Hargrave. It kind of follows the habit book just a little bit, but this talks about ways to develop change in your life. Change is hard. Change is probably the hardest thing to do. Tony Robbins says the change is either motivated by pain or pleasure. And he talks about some of that stuff in here, but he talks about how it's all in your mind. Most people could be a successful trader if they didn't have psychology issues. But we all do. We all come at different places. My story is the fact that I traded so many years before I went full time 2 years ago that I developed a lot of bad habits, and it's taken me a long time to start getting rid of those bad habits. And maybe one of these days I'll share some of those stories, and some of them are funny and some of them are not. But Mind Hacking by Sir Hargrave. The next one, which I have read this book, oh gosh, 3 times. And I have it on audio. Matter of fact, I have all these books except for the first one. I have all of them on audio books. This one I refer to many, 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 many times. I think this is a great book. This one is an absolute must for traders. I've recommended this to all my trading friends. The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler. He does have a website. I believe it's jaredtendler.com. I don't get paid anything. I'm not promoted by him. I just really believe in what he teaches and what he does. What I really like about him is he goes deep into why are you having these emotional responses that you're having. Number one, you have to recognize that you're having the habits. He talks about that, the responses. Because many times we're not even aware that all of a sudden I'm breathing faster or I'm not breathing, that my heart rate's increasing, my stomach's getting tight. He talks about starting to become aware of that, logging that, keeping a journal. So in that journal, you can come back and refer to it. And the more you do that, the more you become aware, the more you can start to work on that. And then he talks about developing a plan. And he goes into all that and how to get rid of those emotions or you don't ever really get rid of them, but you learn how to deal with them so they don't affect your trading or you have a different response to some of those things in your trading. Great book. Love it. This is another one. This is book 5. And by the way, I don't think I said, but I have a bonus book at the end. If you're still here, stick around to the end. I'll go into the bonus book, but we're already there anyway. The Best Loser Wins by Tom Haggard. I love this book, and the basic principle of this book. And there's a couple videos on YouTube about this book and this guy. But what I love about this book, and I love about this guy, if I had to break it down in just a couple sentences, he says that 95% of the traders that get into trading lose. Therefore, you've got to trade like the 5%. You can't be like the 95%. You got to trade like the 5%. And I'm finding that to be very true. And this book is a great read. I have referred to this often. Matter of fact, I mean, I've got it highlighted. I don't know if you can see that, but I highlight it. I listened to this one same time on my audiobook in the car many, many, many times. Great book. Awesome. Book number 5. And my bonus book, this is an oldie, but a goodie. Tony Robbins. It's Awaken the Giant Within. Matter of fact, I think I got this book back in 1991, 92, somewhere in there. And as you can see, this book is well worn. I have read this book. I can't say that I've ever sat down and read through this book 100% all at one time, but I have read this entire book in pieces. Lately, I've been working on how to change your belief systems. But this book, what I love about this book is he talks about the things that you need to do to change your life, which I've already mentioned. And you start reading those 5 books and you start trading, you're going to find a lot of things that you may need to change in your life. This is a good foundation to bring those changes in your life and help you make those changes permanent. These are the and there's more books in this, but these are the 6 books that I refer to the often. And honestly, when it comes to trading, it's The Mental Game of Trading, it's The Best Loser Wins, and Awaken the Giant Within. Those are the 3 books that I refer to constantly over and over. I read part of each one of those books every single day. I hope you find some value in this. Like the video if you got some good information out of it. And we will see you on the profitable side. Be blessed.